I had a bad problem with roping. Like, I wanted a rope in every jackpot I
like
could.
a crackhead. Don't let him lie.
Yeah, like roping was almost my drug. So,
Yeah.
like, I always had to, like, have money for that. And
Whenever you're working for friends, like, it kind of puts you between a rock and a hard place if you do want to make a change in a career path, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
I try to keep some good people around me, too.
Yeah.
To where they don't just learn from me, they learn from everybody around them, too. You know what I mean? Even some, not so much outlaws, but I run around with just about everybody.
Welcome back to the Wealthy Cowboy Show. Today we have Milton and Joni Aguilera on. They have Trent Ward Saddlery, TWS Tack Shop, and Joni has, is it Shady Lady, right?
Shady Lady, yep.
Yes,
yep.
her own company. So both of them have business experience, and I'm excited to see what they have to share with us.
Yep. Thanks for
How
having
are
us.
y'all?
Doing good.
Good. Yeah.
So, kind of, we always start going over the background. If y'all would take turns, go over kind of what your background is, where you came from.
Go ahead, man.
Well, I'm the oldest of three girls. I have two younger sisters. We grew up in Athens, Texas, and then my sophomore year of high school, we moved to Bernieville, Oklahoma. And I actually graduated from Marietta, Oklahoma. My daddy took a job on the pipeline up there. So whenever we lived in Athens, I mean, we grew up countryer than cornbread. Like, my daddy cowboyed my entire life. We had hog hunted. We had horses, cattle, dogs. Like, that is my foundation and really what I know. We had a bunch of little wild ponies that we would break and ride, like in the summer times and stuff. Me and my middle sister. My littlest sister, Katie, she never really roped or anything, but I mean, I've roped and had horses my entire life. Roped, tied goats all through high school and college. Me and Milton started dating my senior year of college. I was 17.
High school.
Yeah, my senior year of high school. Yeah, I was 17. And he lived in Athens, so after I graduated high school, I kind of moved back, and we've been together 10 years now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we've been married for 6 and then together for 10.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long, but when it goes that long, it's crazy.
Yeah, it goes fast, and it's wild to like look back on the pictures and stuff, because you just never thought it would turn into that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I'm the oldest of three girls, and my mom and daddy had a rule, like, you could run and gun all y'all wanted, but you had to take your sisters with you.
Yeah.
So we went all over, but I had two in tow.
Yeah.
And Milton lived in
They were always
Combine.
with us for sure.
Milton lived in Combine, which is a little town over outside of like Crandall area, Dallas. And he wanted to take me out on a date. My daddy was like, that's fine. You know, he can pick you up. Well, it's 2 hours to Bernieville. And I didn't say a peep about Sadie and Katie. Whenever he showed up
We were supposed to go to Ardmore or something. We ended up going to Ada.
to the movie theater. Yeah. Whenever he showed up to get us, we were all three standing on the porch with our purse. And he was like, I was like, sorry. Yeah. And
Gonna
if
ask
you-
more questions next time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's been like that ever since, though.
Oh, for sure. I
Like, her
told.
middle sister, she lived with us there for a year almost.
Yeah.
And Katie, she's been in and out always. And she
Yeah.
was, I don't know, 14, 15.
Yeah, Katie was little when we started dating, but I mean, we're all really close in age, so I just kind of took them everywhere with us. But yeah, Milton had no idea. He was
They're good to have around, though,
bamboozled.
too.
Yeah.
Did you know at any point in there, like, you wanted to be a business owner? Did you know kind of what career path you wanted to take or anything like that?
I really did not know. I'm very black and white. I do not have much gray area. Like, I am in or out with everything. And I had always kind of talked about, you know, having a jewelry business or something, but that's gambling. And it's a gamble to be an entrepreneur and to, you know, take it on yourself.
Whenever we first got married, she was working at a boutique.
Yeah.
And whenever she was going back and forth from Combine to Athens, because in 2017 or 2016, we bought our place in Combine and backed up right there to my parents. So the drive just got not worth it because she wasn't making just a whole lot of money and stuff. So she started working for a trucking company off a good friend of ours. And during COVID, it just shut down.
Yeah.
So he's sent everybody home, and boom,
Yeah.
you ain't got no
And
you ain't got no income coming
we
in.
had no idea. And the wild thing about it is, like Milton said, he is a really good friend of ours. And so whenever you're working for friends, like, it kind of puts you between a rock and a hard place if you do want to make a change in a career path, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I had been praying so hard, like, for God to either give me direction in the company and like a bigger role and like have something real, because, you know, we were married. Like, I was kind of to a breaking point of, what am I going to do? Because I'm not just a college girl anymore. Like, I need something. And I'd be dang if in like 2 weeks COVID didn't come in, shut everybody down. And like, I had been praying for either direction or just a clean break. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want like an easy out.
You got it.
I'm telling you. I went home. He sent us home for a half day because we were in the Dallas city district. And so, you know, they just cut everybody off at 11 o'clock and sent everybody home. And I went home, and me and Milton had been talking about it, and he was like, well, look, either do it or I don't want to hear nothing about it again, you know, in the nicest possible way. But it was before we had kids, and he was like, why don't you just just try it? Like, we can handle it if it don't work out. But it has been such a blessing.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Such a blessing.
going out to New Mexico and Arizona the first time. It was like the people we've seen and the places we've been.
Yeah.
It was something for sure to just witness. Like, I don't know, like the way I see it now, she's got so much jewelry and so many makers and so many contacts. And it wasn't always like that. Like, when we rolled up on a RV house and that a guy told us to come up here, and we're in this reservation going through this trail.
Oh, we're just,
and
hey,
we go up
mystery
in here.
people.
And, I mean, I never had a
sketchy
jewelry
jewelry
right
dealers.
there, and I thought, hey, I'm going to use this thing today, like maybe survive. And yeah, it's crazy to see it grow, but it's crazy to see all the businesses we have grow, you know, with the Trent Ward Saddles, the TWS Tack Shop, even the Vegas pregame. I mean, all of them have been just over. If you do something right, or not something right, but if you do something to your full potential, it'll grow over time in every aspect you do, not just in business, but in everything, you know, so.
Yeah, I think the hardest part for me is the patience to
Oh, man.
to let it go. It's
Yes,
like, come on.
I used to get
The
high anxiety just
patience.
because sometimes I try to do too many things at one time. So where it's like beep, 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 beep. I don't know. Joni says I got ADD, but
He is 100% ADHD.
What's tell us a little bit about your background.
Originally from Miami. I moved over here when I was 11 years old to Combine there, and went to school in Crandall, and pretty much started roping when I was about 12, and that's kind of how I met Trent, because Trent always there was an arena right there kind of by us. It was called the Double Nickel, and Trent was always trading horses out of there and stuff like that. He had a small barn. And Trent's one of them guys where he's tight, but he always has some money on him. So I always like run over there as a little kid wanting him to pay my fees and stuff because I didn't have the money. And that's how I met him. And over time, it just grew into business with him, you know what I mean? We went from, I was just roping and he was paying my fees, and then it went to hauling a couple horses for him, and then it grew into, hey, I got this saddle deal. And then it was 1 or 2 saddles every 3 weeks or something like that, and it's grown to kind of what it is today.
It has blossomed.
Yeah, it has, but I never would have thought, I never even thought I'd be roping if, honestly, coming from Miami. We lived in town, but my cousin, he kind of got me. When you spend the summers and you're young, and you go to the summers and hang out with him and stuff like that, that's all they did. So I learned how to rope really quick. Like I learned how to rope before I could ride a horse, just like probably a lot of people do these days. But going backwards and trying to learn how to slow down and
Horsemanship
and stuff like that, it's probably harder in the last 6-7 years. But yeah, it's never would have thought I'd be right here.
How long had you been roping whenever you won the Vegas finale, right?
Yep.
DX Trailer Sales is based out of Lubbock, Texas, and it is definitely not just a trailer dealership. If you are involved in the Western way of life, and if you're listening to this show, you probably are, then they have something you need. From trailers for a day working cowboy to a full-time cattle hauler to hay trailers for a farmer or rancher to arena drags, rope and chutes, and feeders for the rodeo cowboy or cowgirl. They also deal in every kind of hay any of your animals could ever need. Literally anything you need, farming, ranching, or rodeoing, they're going to have something for you. and it's going to be at a super affordable price. Besides all that, everyone you deal with there is super friendly and very helpful. So check out DX Trailer Sales on Facebook or dxtrailers.com and tell them you came from the Wealthy Cowboy Show.
I won Vegas finale when I was 21. I was like the first year I could go out there and I won.
He was 21 and I was
21.
19.
We bought our first place like that,
Yeah.
and I didn't even have the money to go. It's kind of a funny story of how that kind of went on. It was Trent, another guy. They partnered. There was a rope-in. It was called the VIP Finals, and it was in August, and it was like $1,000 a man, and it was like, I don't know. It was like a big finals, 90% payback, and I didn't have the money. And Trent's, oh man, you got to go, man. I'm telling you, you win so much money. I was like, I don't even got the money to put up. Oh, we'll find someone, pay them fees. Like, no, and he probably had it. You know what I mean? He's just egging me on, you know? Anyways, he's got a partner there, and they just paid my fees. Anyways, I think that we showed up there. There wasn't very many teams, but we ended up winning that, and it paid $5,500 a man to win it. And I told them, I was like, hey, y'all want to just, and I got one of the rope in Vegas. And I was like, oh, yes. I said, hey, y'all want to just roll that money over? Because it costs $2,500 to enter Vegas. I said, y'all want to just roll that money over and, hey, it's a free throw, you know what I mean? See what happens? They're like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. And oh, my gosh, of course. You know, I got 3 runs out there, 2 qualifications, and then that one. And I come over there and we rope 3 with that guy. And Trent, he's like, he doesn't even know that he's got me on the halves. Like, he come up to me because we save everywhere. And he's like, yeah, we saving all this stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, we saving. You know, let him know no different. And another boy that was with us there, he goes, boy, you got him on the halves. And Trent goes, God. Like, it didn't even hit him that he had me on the halves out there because it was, I guess, I don't know, Trent. It's not that he's slow, but he's a little slow as far as that. But he's fast with everything else. And, yeah, he's calling his other partners. It was Mike, and they were both calling me, blowing me up. Mike's calling me because you roped the next day.
Yeah, the short round was the next
short round's
morning.
the next day. So
Yeah.
Mike, he's calling me. Did you get a good breakfast? You know,
Good.
just get me. I'm like, I don't even need to hear this right now. Like, do not need to hear
Send
this.
somebody up, rub your
Oh,
shoulders.
yeah, good. What you need from me? Anything? Like. And them fools, they're
full of it.
they're older than me, but they're just friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not. No, I don't look up to them as far as a dad or anything like that. They're just older friends I got. And winning that, you know, set me up as far as like it was 300. It was like right at 300,000. So it was 150,000 my part. So I split it with them. You know, 75 and 75, and it ended up paying for our first place because
Yeah.
our first place cost like around 100.
Yeah.
And I don't know, from there on out, it kind of went to winning and winning. Like I've won a lot of money in Vegas, it seems like,
He's won second out there in
with her father.
19?
You know,
19
Yep, in
maybe?
19.
18, 19, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, they split.
I think it was
2
190,000
something,
there.
Yeah.
You just go do that once a year. It's pretty good
That'd be
living.
fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I'd love that.
Trent seems pretty good about giving a younger guy some opportunity, it
Yeah.
seems like.
Yeah, no, it was
Dang
pretty
right.
good.
Yeah, he'll bet on somebody. He's good at seeing potential in people that have not been dealt a hard hand, but just, you know, kind of down on their luck. Like he'll pump them up and kind of push
Yeah,
them
it's-
along. He can just.
I
see
mean, I don't have a
potential.
bad background. Like my parents,
Yeah.
they're not wealthy or anything like that, but they have 2 good jobs and stuff like that. And my dad tries to steer me in the right direction always as far
Yeah.
as business and stuff like that. But he dang sure didn't give me anything. You know, he made sure I had gas and everything like that. But I had a bad problem with roping. Like I wanted a rope in every jackpot I
Like
could.
a crackhead.
So,
Don't let
yeah.
him lie.
Yeah, like roping was almost my drug. So,
Yeah.
like I always had to like have money for that, and it seems like that kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, going that route it helped me.
It can drive you to not having anything too.
Oh yeah.
Like a drug
more
problem.
than other.
Yeah.
You know, there was one time me and Joni, whenever we first had Emma, that's what at one time, like before I bought Trent out, that's all we did was rope. Like it seems
All
like
we
we
did.
worked all week and we went on the weekends. We didn't know if we were losing, winning. I mean, of course you want to win, but when you add it up and you're about 4 months in, you win every weekend all around the world. It seems like you're like,
Just got your teeth kicked
We're
in.
kind of in debt here. We need to do something else. So I try to put that fire that I had for roping into like business, as far as, you know, the saddles or the tack store or ropings. Like we have a bunch of, me and her dad, we own a bunch of roping steers, and we try to have some ropings and stuff. Just try to put that fire into something that's going to make me some money. Not that roping won't make you money, but
It's guaranteed.
it's
Absolutely.
guaranteed.
or more
Do another
guaranteed
way.
anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed, but yes, your odds are better if you do it this route than go gambling it.
Yeah.
Because it's
I-
all a gamble. Waking up's a gamble.
And I've seen, like, I don't know what the dynamic there was at first, but I know you were around and living down the road from Trent's house when you were around, and then what y'all turned that place into with the saddle shop there, and like actually it was a nice place to walk into and trade and
Yeah, we were trying to
putting out some nice saddles and stuff.
like it all. Whenever I first started there, it was. I mean, honestly, to this day, it still gets some leaks. But golly, that barn would leak water everywhere. Like, I would hide stuff. Like, if there was a rain coming, I knew where to
Moving
put
everything
stuff.
around.
You know, like like Trent kind of pieced that barn together. So where we
it was
originally
a horse barn
kept
originally.
Yeah, it was a horse
Yeah.
barn originally, and Trent built it himself. And Trent, if you know Trent, like he always just kind of pieces some stuff together, and heck yeah, it'll roll.
Was that? I remember it when it was the horse barn. We went over there and he had already closed it in when you were there, or did that happen?
Yes, he closed it in like right when I was hauling. Seems like horses for him, he was closing it in, and then whenever I started kind of working there, it was closed in. But we worked in that office. I worked out of that office for 2 or 3 years before he finished like putting tin on the outside.
Well, even before there was heat or AC in that office.
Heater AC just got in there 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, in the
Now,
summer.
I remember when it was. I can't remember what that was. It's a little riding area in the middle or
Yeah,
something.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna close this in. You know, big dreams and everything." And then it was kind of slow, but the last time I went over there, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, we dang sure piecing it together and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen it from the past and seen it to now. Dang right, it come a long ways as far as the look, demeanor on them and stuff like that. But if the health department probably went in there or something like that, they start pointing at some stuff, you know. But
Yeah, he's lucky they're right out of the city
oh
limits.
yeah,
Did you see opportunity there, or were you just trying to work to get your fees paid?
yes, I did probably both. You know, I was working to get my fees paid and kind of getting a check, but it was getting to a point where me and Joni were together longer. Like it was super fun. Let's say from 19 to 23, because I was just that was like my college. It seems like, you know, going and running and jackpotting and going to them horse sales and stuff like that. It seemed like that was just the way to do. But whenever you try to create a life over, you know, try to start putting some stuff up, setting yourself up for life, you're like, okay, I need to kind of, like, I see the potential in these saddles. I need to kind of start trying to put the gas to it. It seems like we need to hire some more makers and get some stuff going, get some better material, you know, just kind of change up some stuff to where we can put out the best saddle and be at a good price. You know what I mean? Like, I always seen the potential in it, but I've never seen the potential in it till I turned probably 22, 23 and started really seeing it.
Kind of thinking more long term.
Yeah, thinking long term, because I always thought, you know, probably do something else as far as try to make my own saddles one day or something like that. But Trent, you know, he kind of, not that he gave me the reins, but he dang sure just let it be mine for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So when I told him I wanted to maybe try to do it, he's like, well, just, I want you to have it. I don't want to jack with it anymore. I haven't done it, you know, mainly in the last 4 or 5 years. You can just, you built it, you take it, and you do what you want with it. You know what I mean? And that was pretty cool for him to do, because we're still pretty close. You know, not as super close like we were, but we're still pretty close. I can call him and get out of a bind if I needed to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what it's from being around there, it seemed like he was like the saddle deal was never his main concern.
No,
Right,
never.
yeah.
He was always looking for somebody to come and take it or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Well, yeah. He at the end of the day, he's a horse trader. He likes trading them horses, and that's all he wants to do. So that's I don't know. it's not my name on that saddle, but dang sure I take a lot of pride into it, you know, and that's why we kind of been moving more. I remember, I mean, I'm the one that created the Platinum series because I wanted to switch something up from, you know, Trent back in the day, he used to sell a saddle for $850 to $1,250. It was like the top of the dollar. And I wanted to show some like, hey, I have more than $1,250 in these saddles now, guys. And I needed to call it something different to where it kind of changed like the perspective of it. You know what I mean? To show people like, hey, this is a completely different saddle. But
yeah, we used to go over there and you could get, like when strip downs were first coming out, you could get just a plain strip down, like $700-800 or something.
Yeah.
And it definitely, I wanted to ask y'all that about, you had to do a rebrand kind of to get out of that, but like building your brands, you're having to start from nothing, and then you have a brand, but you're kind of rebranding it.
yeah,
So like
that was probably harder than just
100% that
coming
was.
up with a brand.
Yeah.
That was probably harder than ever just because you can just come up with a brand and do it good from the beginning and then it'll just blow up, which, not saying Trent did a bad job, but the saddle is completely different than it is nowadays. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a
you
whole
almost had
different
to
customer
show,
base, too.
you almost had to show it's changed completely,
Yeah.
you know, in a way. And it was really hard at first. I'd say the first 2 or 3 years because, you know, you're taking saddles that you're trying to charge so much money for. I mean, you have more money in them, of course, but you're trying to put out this product and you're taking older saddles in on trade and they're wanting, you know, what I've always learned to keep my market up was to trade the best you can. Like as far as, let me put it in this perspective. I remember when we first started with the Platinum series, and this is on like all of our Platinums is on either a Lewis, Hog, Bowden, or Timberline tree, and we lifetime warranty them all. And when we first started the Platinum series, a full rough out's $2,400. And that was like top of the line, Herman Oak, everything. And now that saddle is $3,600. And it's not like it's making any more money. It's just as far as the cost, what it's grown to be, as far as how much the cost has gone up to keep everything at that price. Like I still think that's a good price for what it is, which is hard to say because you're like, dude, I tried to give them away for $2,400 at one time. You know, there's been times where I know Trent has, but I know I have too. I mean, if it broke even just to get it in a good hand, or even lost sometimes, we'd do it just because you can trade out of it in a year or two or something like that. And there's nothing better than getting a saddle in a good person's hand that is a good guy, good rider, and everybody kind of not looks up to, but looks at, and they love the saddle because they'll talk about it themselves.
Yeah,
you know,
the word of mouth will get out.
Yeah,
get a lot of referrals.
That's better than any kind of marketing. And
it is crazy to think that, like I talked about with Ed, was like my Robert Mitchell when I got it, which has been 10 years ago. His base and Craig Lewis's base, I looked at them too, was $3,100.
Yep.
And
now they're $5,500.
Yeah. And you could get a production line saddle, you know, for like $1,000.
Yep.
And now the production line saddles are in the threes, like you're saying,
Yeah.
and then those guys are up closer to 10. So
It's crazy.
it's all shifted, but it's weird to see when you were used to those numbers, they've gone up so much, but everything else has.
Diamond L Pro Rodeo is dedicated to producing high-quality PRCA rodeos. These guys are super passionate about producing rodeos, from having the best stock to providing the best specialty acts and announcers. Since starting, they've been able to bring PRCA rodeos to several small towns that have never had one before, and the people have loved it. And like most of the businesses on here, it's ran by great people, the Loves. They also own Live Oak Auction Company in Goldthwaite, Texas. But Chase has a passion for rodeo and ranching that has always driven him. So if you're looking to put on a PRCA rodeo in your town, contact Diamond L Pro Rodeo on Facebook or contact Chase directly at 325-451-0029. You can also find them on Snapchat and Instagram.
When you really, not so much even 10 years ago, just look at it like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That the prices have just crazy. I mean, you look at a NRS competitor series, hell, they're $2,500 now. Like, damn. I remember when they were $1,400, $1,500. Like, It's just crazy.
$1,000 saddle now is going to be pretty rough.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I see them all the time still. I promise. Yes. They're pretty rough.
What struggles like? How has it been building your own brand, like starting from scratch? Has that been a struggle at all, or has it just gone good, or how's that been?
It's been good. But I mean, with everything, there's growing pains, like I started Shady Lady in 2020.
And she's a full-time mom too.
Yeah.
And the accountant for TWS Tack Shop and Trent Ward Saddlery.
We have more than one or five things
gas.
going on.
Yeah.
She puts the gas to it at all aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started the business in 2020, and I found out I was pregnant with Emma. March of 21, me and Milton, we had bought a place in 2020, the place we live at now. And I found out I was pregnant. And literally probably 2 weeks before I found out, we had talked about it, and we were like, we just bought that place in Kemp. We need to work on it, take our time. We're going to wait to have kids. And I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks later. And
we got that place done too.
Yeah, we dang sure did. We poured concrete in July.
Barndo, it has an apartment in there and stalls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But time rock on, heck, we're about to build a house.
Yeah.
It's crazy that fast. It can change every day. Every time you wake up, it can change.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We poured concrete on that place in July, and we moved in September. And I had Emma November 3rd. It was bang, bang, bang. But we didn't have there wasn't nothing else we could do. The house that we lived in, it was too little to have a baby.
Work, but I know if we started in there, we would have.
Milton's all or nothing. He is all or nothing. Yeah.
Not still been in there, but
probably
would have made it work for longer.
Probably. Yeah, that's exactly it. Milton is all or nothing, and he is one of his best traits is once he starts something, hell or high water, we're finishing that before we move on to something else. And it is a double-edged sword, because sometimes I'm we just need to wait a minute. And he's like, no, I've already started. I'm just going to finish it. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well,
but
my dad always told me once you start something, just finish
get
it.
Done. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's going to cost the same regardless. Just go and finish it to where you're done, and you can see where you're at after it.
Yeah.
If you do it slowly, you're still going to be in the same perspective.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the gas to it, get it over with? And
usually once that's a bad thing about me. And once you get it to where it's operational, whether it's the barns or pens or house, where you can live in there, you're oh, we're good. And then you're
oh my
and
gosh.
then it just stays unfinished for ever.
We built that place, like Milton said, we built that barn dominium, and there's five stalls out my kitchen window. Yep. And then we built the arena. The arena was done for the house too.
That's where the money's made.
Exactly. So we built the arena, and then got it all done. And we had not planned on having 2 under 2, but we did. Survived that. And
they're two awesome kids too.
They're absolutely full of it.
One's 3 and one's 1, but they have so much personality.
Yeah.
It's what are they going to be when they're 13 and 11?
My gosh.
It's
they're
crazy.
right at 18 months apart, and they are full of it. But our little boy Milton is the third Milton. And so whenever we found out we were having a little boy, we knew it was going to be Milton. Well, my daddy's middle name is Royal, so we named him Milton Royal. So he's the 4th Milton, and then I had him on the 4th of July. So, yeah. But he's
a firecracker for sure.
Full of it. Kid is full of it. Kid is full of it.
I think kids definitely, I see kids not change some people, it doesn't make them grow up, but it completely changed my whole perspective on life and everything.
100%. Honestly, it made me always liked. Everybody likes the fast money. You know what I mean? Little something, profit, roll. But when you have kids, it dang sure shows what kind of longevity you want in life. You know what I mean? Because it's not all about making money, but it's about freeing up time to where you can spend with them longer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I was. Just day working and stuff is you're looking at the next week or maybe if you're long-sighted, the next month or something.
Yeah.
And then when we found out we were pregnant, it was I need to years. I need to look
stability.
I need 10 years.
No more days and weeks.
10 years down the road or 20 years down the road or 30 years down the road.
And you would have never thought you'd be feeling that or acting, or not acting, but thinking that.
Yeah. It's definitely different for us. Like I said, we've been together for 10 years, and for us to be on the younger side of business owners and things like that. Like, it's wild. I remember after we had Emma and we set up like our life insurance policies, like to go set up your life insurance policy at like 23, I was just like, okay, you know, whatever.
I want my kids to have stuff that I never had, and not that my parents didn't give me everything I ever wanted, but my parents aren't really rodeo family.
Oh no, they're Miami.
You know what I mean? Like, I was riding some nags and I was getting along just fine.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have them in some good stock, and her dad is really good horseman and everything else too, to where like we're gonna, as far as like we have some young horses and stuff like that we're getting ready and stuff. We're just getting everything ready for them. It seems like I don't know. They're gonna be, you know,
they're gonna get bucked off though. 100%. It's good for them. They're gonna get bucked off.
Trent will probably put them on some good.
We'll probably get something out of Cleveland, I'm sure.
Trent did give Royal a colt whenever
he
Colt
did.
was born. So
Yep.
he did.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't look at that. Like, they say family's a priority, but they spend all their time at work or whatever.
Proof's in the pudding.
And
We'll take our kids come to the shop at least two days a week.
Yeah.
and you can build that life, and you can not only can you, if you work really hard on something for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, you can make an income, a good amount of money from it for the rest of your life and not have to worry about anything financially, but also you can have the freedom to spend time with your kids the whole time
you can't get that time
too.
back.
If you're still looking for the perfect Christmas gift for your kids, you need to check out the Happy Toy Maker. He builds toys that relate to our lifestyle. If you're in the Western or ag industry, there's a toy that relates to what you do so your kids can be just like you. From feed trucks and half-top trailers to rodeo rigs to big trucks and even equipment. Not only are these about the coolest toys that you've ever seen, but they're built to last for generations. Check out the Happy Toy Maker on Facebook or thehappytoymaker.com to get your kids some awesome toys that your great-grandchildren will still be playing with.
I'd rather take my kids just with me too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like they learn because I try to keep some good people around me too.
Yeah.
To where they don't just learn from me; they learn from everybody around them too. You know what I mean? Even some, not so much outlaws, but I run around with just about everybody that I, you know.
Yeah, if they go with Trent to the sale barns for a few months or something, they're going to get a hell of an education.
I don't know if they'll do that. But he might go with me to one of themselves or something. But he I don't know, like Emma, she can tell you every part of a saddle right now. And she's 3. You know, I couldn't tell you every part of a saddle until I was 17. You know, just little things that I want them to know and that'll help them later on in life. And they might get to where there's 15, 17 years old and start skateboarding or something like that. Just change the whole deal. But I don't know. I'll be down for whatever.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Where did y'all come up with the idea to have the full-blown tack shop?
That's kind of something I wanted to do. And that's kind of what not pushed me away from Trent, but what kind of I bought him out in the partnership just because we were branding TWS a bunch. And it's crazy when someone would come buy a saddle from me, and I only had them a saddle to sell.
Yeah, they need
okay, where's the best place to buy a
yeah.
cinch, or where's the best place?
Yeah.
And I would send them, Teskey's or somewhere, because I
not really
I carried
anything.
some stuff, but I wanted to carry the better end stuff, and that's what we have at the store. Just all better end stuff. Like if we're gonna carry some stuff that we didn't make, it's dang sure something that's got a good name, And I don't know, that's just something I wanted to do just because it all started in the trailer too, probably because I would get some reins and get some, brushes and everything in that trailer and it would move. So I wanted to start a tack store. And whenever me and Trent were talking about, we were partners in it and there was a guy who wanted to buy us. And anyways, he didn't want to give enough and it wasn't the same. It was not going to be a very good deal, I felt like. So I wanted to, and I told him, I said, hey, I will still buy your half out because he was wanting to slow down as far as, not put the gas. And I was wanting to put even more gas than we were putting. And he was at this point where he was either wanting to sell out or, do something different. So I just ended up buying him out and I wanted to get some road frontage and, I don't know, something that I can grow as big as I can to where one day I can leave it to my kids. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to just keep on giving them, a half of a half and kind of rope on the weekends and stuff like that. I wanted to see what my wife and all of, we have a group of people that work for us, that have worked for us for 3 or 4 years. I want to see what everybody's full potential is at all times. So, and we haven't reached our full potential, but we dang sure strive on it every day. So that's kind of what started the TAC as far as that, just something else to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And this building we're at, it's right off I-20. So it was just like, I don't know. Me and Trent made a deal. A guy called me on a building. Like everything happened in a matter of 2-3 months. And I was thinking about this since I was 19 and it happened in 3 months. So it's like, I don't know. It wasn't that I wasn't ready, but it was
all at
coming
once.
fast.
Yeah.
It was coming fast.
Happens real slow, then all at once.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff that you think about and you talk about
One day. Yeah. One
doing
day.
this and that. I don't know. It just seems like I always, like we sell some saddles and stuff like that to Teskey's, NRS and stuff like that. And seeing how Michael and Casey and them do over there, they got it rocking at all times. And they started in a storage unit.
Yeah.
And then they bought a bunch of
place
storage
has
units.
grown
And then they
so
bought
much.
and it's like, golly.
Yeah.
Casey told me one day, because I asked, I always like just kind of, I don't know, talk to him because I kind of look up to him as far as, because they got it in all aspects. I just wanted to do it different than them, And he's like, oh, just hire more help. It gets fun. And we have. And
It's gotten fun.
it's fun, all right. Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
It's interesting. It's
I've been
very
trying to
interesting.
get Casey on here. He said he would do it, but
Oh, he'd be good.
we
to
hadn't
talk
got him
to.
on here.
He
yet.
would be a good one to talk to.
He'd be
Yeah,
good to
they've
talk
got
to.
them at all angles. I mean, everything from workout classes to saddles
they
to
got-
guns. They got all kinds of stuff over there. They're getting them at all
And they're good
angles.
guys.
Yeah,
They're good
they
guys.
really are. Yeah,
Yeah, it's always now that they've opened up that whole trading corner over there. It's nice to go be able to trade. And
Or
stuff.
whatever you can go buy some good handmade stuff. Like, heck, you go to the Heritage, there ain't nowhere like that place. You don't ever see that many good quality stuff until you're there, I guess.
Yeah, you could only go basically the Heritage. There's some other trade shows, but not as good.
Nothing like that.
And then now you can go into Teskey's, and then I don't know if y'all are still keeping a bunch, but y'all used to trade a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah,
and
we
always
used to
have
keep a
stuff.
bunch of and we still do. But I want to have a little area kind of like that just for trading bridles and stuff. But man, it's come at us so quick. Like as far as the tack, like the saddles, I know saddles, so I know how to control what I'm doing on saddles. But like the tack store side of stuff, it's dang sure
yeah,
challenging.
Yeah,
yeah. Whenever we started it, we were like, we're just gonna have reins, headstalls, little tie downs, like
Now you
maybe a
look up,
couple
I bought
ropes.
a dozen pads and dozen
He's
more
got-
pads of this. And
Not even
frickin-
the pads. He's got fly spray, cowboy toys, brushes.
went on a buying spree.
Yes.
I really have.
Because it's hard because okay, you're gonna have the headstall. Well, you're not gonna carry tie downs. Well, you don't have any curb chains. Well, my tie down strap broke. You don't have any of those. You don't have any hobbles. Like it just
And
grows and
Rhodey,
grows and grows. Yeah.
He brought 3 bridles that he just quit using. He just put them in the store. Literally the next day, guys came in to trade, bought all 3 bridles. And he looked at me and goes, I'm telling you, we need too bad. I'm telling you. He makes this little smile on his face. And I'm like, I know. But dang, keeping and also we got 4 businesses that we're running.
And 2 small
what I mean?
children.
And
2 small
keeping your
children.
dough together to kind
Yeah.
of fluctuate. And I don't want to get caught up to where I'm doing a bad job as far as got everything coming in too fast and my eyes ain't on it because I like to put out good quality stuff. So the main deal is keeping the saddles, up to par and
Quality control and
yeah,
putting out a
then-
good product.
And then we'll worry about see what comes in the tax store and see what I like there.
Yeah. What about the jewelry? You talked about these sketchy dealings that you started with.
Well, I mean, there's a couple different ways to start it. Like you can go to market and like meet people like that. And
Yeah,
that's,
we didn't know that.
Yeah, whenever we started, that I had no
It's in
idea.
New Mexico, right? Everybody
that's
knows.
literally what Milton said.
Albuquerque is the worst freaking town.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't be.
I didn't know that.
Don't be too ugly, but
What?
Albuquerque's
Yes,
a little
it's
rough.
terrible.
I think everybody probably knows it.
I'm telling you,
There- there's homeless people everywhere. I mean, it's not that I've never seen anything like that, but I'd never
It was an
thought
eye-opener.
Albuquerque, New
Yeah.
Mexico was like this.
And we didn't know how to do anything besides just pound the pavement and figure it out. So we called up a local that was there and hey man, this is what we're doing. Who do you know? Oh, well, I know my cousin's brother's son. He does that. Well, what's his phone number? And we just, hey, mistered people until I found a good group of guys and the right guys that you can work with, because you have to be so careful in the turquoise
we used some
world.
bad ones there for a little bit.
Yeah, well, just a learning curve. Like,
Yeah,
I look
I mean,
back
yeah.
at some stuff now and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I hope whoever bought that.
We
I'm so
went-
sorry.
The first day we went to Albuquerque, we went to about 3 horrible places before. I mean, it was terrible. And Joni, she knew enough about stones. Like, they weren't going to put nothing on her that she didn't already know. It's like,
I have a big turquoise collection. Like, I've always loved it. So I knew a lot about it even
you weren't going to put
before
no
we
cheap
got
stones
there.
on her and stuff like that is what I'm saying. And we went into, what's Ernie's last name?
I don't know.
He's like the freaking king out there as far as for turquoise. And we met him, and it was like, oh man, yeah, this guy's kind of got it going on. He's kind of like the test or the.
I would say Tuskies.
Like, he's bigger than Teskey's. He's got
everything.
he furnishes Teskey's. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got it going on as far as so many different makers that literally just built for him to where he trades them all out and stuff. And when he was explaining, he's very humble. Like, he was just explaining to us, like, hey, you don't have to come here. You can meet these makers, and you get in with this maker. Oh yeah, that's the cousin to her. Oh yeah, her father-in-law still works for me. It was just one after another. And that's whenever you come across and you're like, oh, it's not so much people we need to deal with. It's just like saddle business. We just got to find the right people that build it.
Yeah.
And once we realized that, it all kind of changed. It all changed from then, because it was horrible at first, buddy.
It was tough at first because there's all like, just like with everything, like we were talking about saddles, like you can get a cheaper one or you can get a nicer one. And whenever you first start, it's hard to find the good ones because they gatekeep on a lot of that. Like, they ain't just in the yellow pages, like you
Yeah.
have to,
And we
you
stand
have to
behind
find them.
the product itself.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and
we
you
don't
have to
know
be-
what it all is made out of, then
Yeah.
that's not real good
Yeah.
to stand out of. You're
Yeah.
stand behind. Like, everything that's in my saddles, I can tell you every little inch of wool that came into it. Just everything about it. I know exactly everything about it. And that's what we wanted Shady Lady to be. We wanted to know everything about it.
Yeah, well, be
before we
sure,
sold
like,
it.
whenever you're putting out, an authentic Native American made product, that is what it is. Because there are some people that replicate that brand. They steal stamps or they just doctor stamps to look the same. And then you end up selling something that's not really Native made. And you're none the wiser because, you didn't do your homework or you just got caught. And then you don't want to get in any of that. Like, that's a whole other debacle. And
Yeah.
that's toes that I would never step on.
And we
So-
talked about brand building, and it takes a long time to build a positive one and not that long to.
You talk about crumble that sucker. I mean, yeah, you really have to stand behind it. And I feel like we have, if we have anything that my clasp broke or I broke the stone off my earring back or, hey, I need this, that, or the other. Like, I try to, fix everything that I can. I've got a lot of good, like, repair guys that work for us. And they can repair literally anything, like restringing beads or
It doesn't matter how
whatever.
good of a product you have.
Yeah. Your customer
Wrecks is
service
gonna
has to
happen.
be,
Wrecks are
stuff is
gonna
going to happen. Your customer service has to be top tier, because if roles were reversed and you were on the other side of something that was broke, you would want whoever you bought it from to fix it. Like, you have to fix it.
Put yourself in the customer's point of view,
Right.
always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're paying for a premium product, you gotta.
You have to do that.
You have to deliver
I
on
agree.
it.
Yep.
I agree.
What about the team roping? Y'all just had a team roping the other day. What do y'all have going? Is that a whole nother business, or y'all just put some on? Or
No, that was the
no.
Vegas pre-game's its own deal.
Yeah.
We started that. This was the 5th year. We were at Alvarado at a church the first year. We went balls to the wall. The second year we went to the
Worth.
John Justin. It
Yeah.
was horrible. Or not horrible, but man, when you don't have nowhere to tie your horse.
Well,
and
it was
nowhere to
during
park,
some
They
other-
charge you $30 to park.
Yeah. It was during some other, like, Longhorn show or
Man,
something.
it
So you
was-
couldn't have
we
two
couldn't
arenas.
even use the strip and shoot the way
Yeah.
we needed to, because the auction ring is right behind
Right
it.
behind it.
To where one Longhorn going in, one Longhorn going out, and we're sharing pins
It
with our
was
steers, and we're trying to
a
have
mess. Yeah.
pretty good event here, and we're sharing pins with a Longhorn show.
We have it the second weekend of November, and I had Emma the 3rd, and then the pregame was the 10th, 11th, 12th, whatever it was. And so I didn't go to that one. She's 7 days old or something. She was little. So I didn't go to the pregame that year, and it was it was just a lot.
Yep.
And then the next year we had it.
The last 3 years,
3
we've had
years.
it at that 377 arena in Stephenville. Have you
Yeah.
been there? That place
Man,
is
that's
awesome.
a great pin.
I mean,
great
it's like, have you ever been to Rancho Rio in Wickenburg?
No.
It's
Oh,
pretty
it's
much
so
that
much fun.
place under
But
roof.
outside,
If you
yeah.
run one, you walk right in, you run a second and third, and
Yep.
boom. Like, whenever you're ready to drag, here it comes water trucks, 2 tractors at one time, and they're rocking 100 mile an hour. And that's been the best part, is moving it to that facility, because
Yeah.
they got it going on.
You have to be
gotta have a
roper
good
friendly.
facility
Yeah.
to have a good jackpot.
Yeah, and they specialize pretty much in team roping. So if you're like me and hate brush on your place, you need to give Double L Land Management a call. They travel all across the country fighting the war on brush and reclaiming land that has been basically useless. No matter if you're dealing with cedar, mesquite, or some other type of unwanted plant, they probably have the equipment to get the job done most efficiently. They have those huge mulching machines that can literally eat a cedar up super fast. If you need something different, like a dozer or smaller machine or excavator, something like that, they can handle that too. Contact Double L Land Management on Facebook. You can visit their website, doubleLlandmanagement.com, or call 254-978-9294. And be sure to tell them you heard about them on the Wealthy Cowboy Show.
It was the best. It's been the best pregame yet. We paid $1 million in 3 days to the ropers.
Yeah,
So
we
it
had
was
2781,
26. I think it was 2,600 teams.
something like that.
And
Yeah, in 3 days.
It ain't like you can enter one draw. Each person can get 18 runs. Each person
Yeah.
can max get 3 runs in each
yeah.
roping. So there was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people. Yeah, it was
there
big
was
roping.
J Ray's. They have a concession there, and they said like, she's like, oh my god, like she was. She wasn't
Ray
the
is
only
so
concession
sweet,
stand,
too.
but man, she had it going on. There
She
was
told
freaking
me-
smoke. She said she went through. I forgot what she told me, like 40 pounds of bacon in an hour or something like that.
silly,
Like just
yeah.
something crazy.
Yeah. She told me, I've been to Sam's 3 times and I'm going to have to schedule another pickup because there were just so many people
man.
there.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny to see how much the pregame has grown. And then, you look in the back and it's me and Milton and, Trent and Kim, and we're all just
Oh man, yeah.
like the behind the scenes. It's just us. But the roping has grown so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Is that the only one y'all do?
100%. That's
Yes,
the only
I
one
put
we
on
do.
some little jackpots there around the house
Yeah.
and stuff. But as
That
far
one
as
takes-
production,
Yeah.
that takes
We start working on it in July as far as like gathering sponsors, figuring out what we're going to do. And this is the first year that we haven't given away like a big prize
We gave away a
trinket, whatever.
car. Oh, we've given away
We've given
2
away
cars
2
and a truck.
Challengers, a truck,
what we
and a
did.
trailer. Y'all gave away that little half top or cowboy rig at
Oh, yeah,
Alvarado.
at the very first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
this
truck
is the first
ropings,
year.
they just, man, I like for everybody to win. You know what I mean? Like I want to
Spread it out some more.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
have good cows and
Yeah.
everybody to rope, and not like when you win a truck, only the guy who won
Whoever
the
won
truck
it,
and
yeah.
us win. Like that does not go with me. Like I feel guilty in a way, but you don't need to be guilty because the truck costs $80-some thousand. But at the end of the day, hey, I don't want to do this again. And last year, because we don't do any pre-entry, which was dumb, because last year, we had a truck roping, and at 8 a.m. we had 110 teams. There.
Oh, this Milton was nervous. He's texting me, is
Dude,
anybody
I'm
else up
pacing
there?
back and
How many
forth.
people
I
are
said,
here?
How many
I
you
was
got
like, "It'll be
now? How many you got?
It'll be
and then at
fine.
8, the books closed at 8:45. At 8:20, dude, like minnows. Like freaking minnows. Here they come, just like one after another. And I was just like thanking God, like, oh, thank you so much. Because, man, it's a lot to put out.
Well,
for
it's a
not
big
even that big
overhead
of a
before.
reward.
Yeah.
And they didn't even show up. You're killing me.
Yeah, I've put on some rodeos, and it's being the producer is not as all
Oh
it's
my
cracked up to
Oh,
be.
heck
I told
no.
Milton I'm getting a shirt made next year that says I know Milton too, because I work in the office.
I know Milton.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
he'll
If I hear it once, well, Milton said, or oh my gosh, call him and ask him. I'm like, okay. If I hear it once, I hear it a million times.
The cow deal has just gotten crazy too. Like to keep
Yeah.
good cattle for your roping, like you almost have to. When you rope for 300 to 500 a man, that's what made me and her dad get in the business. You got to have a good steer. Like you can't be roping no crap for that much money because I want it. It's hard enough anyways, but it's almost extra hard when the cow's shitty. So you got to have a good steer. We went through 850 head of steers at their roping. 850 head of
needed 'em.
steers and a semi load of hay.
Yeah, we needed all of them.
And yeah, we used every single one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, those pins are big too, and they're set up, one right behind the other. So you have
we
to
had
have
one truck coming in and one truck coming out.
you have to have some
Once that
cattle.
was done, here comes the campaigners.
Yeah.
Like it was, it was a stressful weekend, man.
That's
But it was good. Everybody seemed to like it, and it was a good roping. It was dang sure good roping.
About May, Milton's like, I want to put on 2 a year. Like we could have the Vegas pregame, and then we could have like another one that Monday after the pregame. Milton's like, I don't want to do it next year. Like,
shit.
it's just
maybe one.
so much. Yeah,
Man.
it is a lot. It's a lot because you put a lot into it. Like I said, we start in July, like building out flyers, figuring out what we're going to do, who's sponsoring, what are we doing. Like you start working on it
And
for
this
3
last
days
year,
of glory.
this economy sucked last year.
Yeah, it did.
Like to ask people for sponsorship is kind of like,
Yeah.
I hate doing it. Like
it hurts a lot of events.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of, not only takes a lot of money away from them, but some can't even be
No.
put on
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. The small businesses
Sponsors
are
are
really,
a big thing.
yeah.
Sponsors are a big thing.
Yeah. And it's not like you can call Amazon or Walmart. Like, hey, do y'all want to sponsor? Like, we paid the light bill up there this month, but do y'all want to sponsor? It's not that.
I mean, wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, we can call them.
Yeah. Does anybody got the number?
I'm telling you, somebody find it.
What are to go along with that, what are some of the biggest struggles that y'all have seen in being a business owner?
Not having anybody to like phone a friend. Like, I feel like that's probably one of the hardest things is,
It's all on you.
oh, I'm telling you.
I phone a
whenever,
friend. We'll phone some friends.
I mean, we'll phone a friend, but like whenever one of our employees kicks the door in on the office and is like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what's happened. Like, you have to kind of take it in and be like, okay, hang on, like start over. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Because it's yours. Or like whenever you've got somebody that's up in arms or in the bridle about something, like having to fade the heat and figure it out, because you don't want to step on anybody's toes, make anybody mad or nothing. But I don't know, just having to sort it all out. My whole life, my mama always said, sort it out because help ain't coming. Like, figure it out yourself. And that is bar none some of the best advice I have ever had.
No, it's keeping everything like we were talking about earlier, just not jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Is I don't know about every other business owner, but my business aspects, because I've been broke, and I've been at a lot of places in my life, so where like, I don't know, if I just start putting the gas to a bunch of different aspects in business, and I need to slow down sometimes and just
Quality
That's
control
probably-
a little harder.
not even that, just slow down. Slow down and look and see the different options before you take the next option. Is
Yeah.
what it needs to be.
Well, I think there's two aspects. I would think most people are probably on the opposite end of like they just need a kick in the butt to get started
Yeah.
and go. And
Yeah.
some people, I mean, they
Me,
need
my
to
tie
Oh,
down
no,
needs to be
Bubba.
at the bottom hole.
We need to
And I need to
tighten
stay-
that curb chain because he ain't trying to hear it.
I'm trying to run off.
Yeah, that's what I tell you all the time. I'm going to tighten your curb chain. You going to keep on. I'm going to tighten your curb chain. It's
Well-
funny, though.
What would y'all say is the most important skill of being a business owner? If you could attribute one thing.
I think
Being
Milton's,
better than everybody.
Milton's
I
problem
look at
solving.
it as not a game, but I'm real competitive as far as
Everything.
like, I don't know, I get
As
along
far as
with everybody.
everything.
but I wouldn't mind like kicking your ass in silence. You know, just like looking at each other and smiling, like thumbs up, like, hey, that was mine. You know what I mean?
Doing
honestly,
what it takes to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some people, that I've gotten beaten from, but I'm like, heck yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
You know, and that's with the saddles, there's plenty of us doing saddles, and there's plenty of us roping and doing the cattle deal, and there's plenty of us doing all that stuff, and it's cool. Like, I'm reading a book right now. It's off of it's the letters to my son of J.D.
J.D.
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, the 38
And
letters.
he talked about that guy dying or whatever, his biggest competitor, and he was like, I don't know, just real sad about it. I was like, man, I can see me being sad, like if one of these guys go out, just because that's all I've always wanted to beat.
Yeah, it drives you a little
Yeah,
bit.
it drives
Yeah.
me. It drives you, and then whenever someone like that passes away, you're like, wow.
Yeah,
What
like on Lonesome Dove, where he's that Mexican bandit guy, dies, and he's like, "You act like you're sad," and he's like, "Well, I didn't expect him to die."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're stealing his
Yeah.
horses,
Yeah. That's hard. I mean, you have to have a hard mentality. Like, if you go into things, most businesses fail within the first 5 years. Like if you go into it like ears laid back, hard mentality, burn your boats. Like
And
just
don't
like
be
Cortez
looking to
said, burn your boats.
Always
and-
just make some money. Like it seems like with us, every dollar that we put into it, we just keep on leaving it in, and like
trying to
don't
let it
ever
grow.
just try to, I don't know, get
Take it
rich at
all out.
first.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to let it grow and you got to let it build.
It takes
'cause
a
at the
lot
end
of
of the day,
foundation.
good things take time.
Yeah.
Good things take time, and they don't build stuff quick that don't take that aren't good quality, and that's with every aspect.
What's
I
the
agree.
best business advice y'all ever gotten?
Burn your boats, 100%. Like if you're going to do it, then do it to the glory of the Lord. Like do it like you were doing it for God Himself, because you are. And I don't know. I think going into things like that, like doing it the best that you can every single day, burn your boats, however you want to put it. Like failing is not an option. Business, marriage, kids, it's not even on the table. Like you just gonna have to figure it out. Like if that means back up and punt, then back up and punt and figure it out. But don't quit. Don't weaken. Just keep going.
Don't quit at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Just
don't
quit.
weaken.
Because if you have faith, you'll have a turnover. It's consistency is the main factor. Like if you're consistently messing up, you're gonna consistently mess up for a while. But
Well, there's
if
a
you're
common denominator
consistently
there.
trying to get better, hey, you're gonna eventually start getting better and better and better at what you do. Like you're not gonna just fail all the time. Like if you want to do good, you're gonna do good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you put all your heart into it, you dang sure you're going to do good. One of these days. It might suck at the beginning. I've been there, but
Yeah.
it'll come around.
Sometimes it takes a while.
It'll take a while.
How can everybody find y'all stuff? Find y'all?
Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Yep,
all the-
Instagram,
all the
Facebook.
things.
We have Trent Ward Saddlery, of course, but we're trying to get the TWS Tack Shop kind of going because, yes, it's all pretty much the same thing, but we don't want to post a brush for sale on Trent Ward Saddlery. You know what I mean? We want to bump up TWS Tack Shop, and then find Joni on Instagram is probably her best thing, on Shady Lady Jewelry. And yeah, that's about it.
Shady
We're
Lady's
not real
pretty-
hard to find.
Pretty standalone as far as Instagram, besides, Shady.
Joni gets
But-
on to me as far as on Facebook and scrolling and stuff like that. So if I'm not on the phone or whatever, I'll
Yeah.
if someone tries to reach out, I can make sure to find
I'm
it.
on.
100%.
I love Facebook just because of the trading aspect. I'm
That's
on
all
there
I'm
Oh
on
my
there for.
gosh.
looking for deals, and I love Facebook the most. So everybody else looks at Instagram.
He
and
is
stuff.
I'm not an
always on
Instagram
Facebook.
kind of
I just
guy.
like the buy sell part of Facebook.
Literally, I went
Everybody's
into
like,
labor.
"Did you see what I post on Facebook?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Golly, when you don't get on Facebook?" I said, "I'm on Facebook every day,
all the time. Yeah.
but I'm on the buy sell for it."
Yeah,
Whenever I went into labor with Emma, Milton bought I don't know what.
I didn't. In my offense, I didn't know you were having Emma that day.
Okay. What did you buy though? Yeah, Suzuki, some little hunting rig.
like a samurai.
Oh my
Exactly
gosh!
what it
Yes,
was.
that's
Had
100%
red
all
seats, little
standard.
go-kart
Oh my
seats.
god!
I mean, I did not know.
Perfect family.
We
rig.
went in for a
Just
checkup.
a checkup, yeah, and they sent us
And I
over
was
to
in
have
there
her.
during this checkup. I was like, check this thing out. $4,000, dude. I mean,
gotta have it.
It looked worth the money. Well, I told the guy I'll come get it this evening. And they come in and tell Joni, okay, you need to, I think we're going to try to have her today. I was like, you're shitting me. So Joni tells me, okay, well, you need to go get the bag
I
and
didn't
stuff
have
like that. I said,
anything.
okay,
Like,
I'll
I
go
was
get the
not
bag. But I
ready.
need to go get this
I gotta go pick this
Oh.
Jeep up first.
Literally, Milton calls me. He's like, I
did.
got to go by the bank and get the
Oh,
money so I
man.
can pay for this deal. I was like,
And if you buy on
Okay.
Facebook Marketplace, you don't know what the heck you're getting into.
oh my
dude.
gosh, I'm in Rockwall at the hospital, and Milton's just picking up this Jeep in somebody's yard.
I drove that thing
How's
home
it going,
too.
honey?
It was you don't know what you're getting into. Like, dang sure if you're buying off Facebook Marketplace, take your pistol.
Yeah,
Like some
life
of the dealings
advice.
that I've seen and gotten into has been not horrendous, but crazy.
Well, it all worked out, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, we
Live
got
to
the
see another
little
day.
Suzuki, we got the baby, it all panned
Suzuki's
out.
long gone now, girl.
Yeah, you picked it up that day.
Well, thank y'all for coming on. I think it was pretty awesome.
Heck yeah.
I love seeing people getting started, young people getting started, and starting their own deal and continuing their own deal. So
No, we're pretty pumped. We dang sure are.
Awesome. Well, y'all go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and be sure to share this out. And hopefully you got some value out of it. And we'll see y'all next time.
A mastermind has the sole purpose of getting you further, faster, and that's exactly what we're doing with the Wealthy Cowboy Show Mastermind. It is for the person that's ready to start out building their business or someone just looking to get their business to the next level. We will have live Q&A calls that you can ask past and future guests questions that relate specifically to you. You'll also hear ideas and be able to network with people that could open you up to a completely different way of thinking that could change your life. Click the link below if you're looking to go to the next level in business and in life.